Let's check on the futures on Wednesday afternoon. As usual, we will start with the S&P. We're looking at the ES, the big 50. Yes, 5,000. We're talking 5,000. Woo! Let's look at what there is to play. Because we've rallied so far, any hiccup on this level of 5010 will probably bring us to 5,004, which is another set of support. Looks like the sky's the limit. So if you want to play the upside, a breach of the 5016 could get you another retest of the all-time high. And otherwise, it looks easier to dip. What happens on the bounce is the question mark. If the market gets heavy overnight, they might do this. And if you're lucky, they might give you that. Versus the upside potential. Here is the NASDAQ, the NQ. Similar scenario. We have very narrow band that they're stuck in the last few minutes. If you lose it, 17,830, you do have a wider band of support than the other one. So here the downside could be quicker to come and a harder stop. The upside, similar scenario. You do have nothing but tails, and if you take those tails, the sky is the limit, of course. I don't like that the message is look down when the market cannot stop rallying, but that's the makeup of this last extension that happened after hours. So speaking of down, things were so good, even this one was almost not down. No kidding, of course. The small caps are stuck between two giant zones. You do have a bunch of buying tails, and so even if you lose the 1951, you have backup support at 1946. Now, if you do lose 46, you're going to end up in the mid to low 30s. Versus all these sellers that are parked right here, and the sellers up here, and the sellers above that. So it looks like it's a slog to go up. And if they can't rally when we have 3 different records today, all the other indices broke records, and these ones barely broke green. Not a good setup. The YM resembles the S&P. By that, it has immediate support, but if you lose it, you have small backup support. Otherwise, you fall into the much better support zone at 38,670-ish. Versus a bunch of sellers. Unlike the S&P, I think it had like one pointy place where you can take it out and then hit the other ones. Here it has just highs. Maybe I guess you can consider these candles right there. So that would be, hey, nice round number, 38.8. Gold kind of resembles the small caps in the sense where it has a bunch of sellers parked above and multiple big lines of failures and not a lot of support, but a pretty solid zone in which they're stuck. So you have immediate sellers at 2054 or higher. You have solid buyers into 2050, but if you lose 2050, you're going to end up at 2046. And then the conversation is what happens if we lose that? You'll come down another 4 to 7 points from there. I guess it's you can trade the range. If we have rallies, you can try to fade the rallies into 2055. I thought I was going to come into this and say we have a descending channel. No, we have an ascending channel in crude. What? When did that happen? Last time I checked, they were coming down. There they are. They were coming down. They stabilized. Okay. So we're looking at a 15-minute chart on crude. You had a descending channel out of which you're trying to swim sideways, as they say. You do have a zone of contention, 74.6 and 73.6 or 7. And so support at 73.4. Better support anything below 72.8. So if you want to play it on the short side with stops, you might get this. If not, you can play the upside, and because they are buying dips, you think that they're going to do that. Those two are available, and I will probably be interested in seeing if they can eventually lose 71.4, because then we're talking. Because then we would have had a descending channel and try to escape. That fails, then they have a longer stint lower, like much longer. We're talking like down to here. But that's not tonight. It's just in a bigger picture. Look at the sellers that are waiting at 75.6, 75.8. All right, I think we're going to stop here for tonight. Good luck, everyone.